You know, for as long as we've existed, we've looked at Earth and thought, this is it, the perfect place for life. But what if that's not the whole story? What if our planet is just kind of average? We're about to dive into the hunt for worlds that aren't just like Earth, but are actually, well, better.
And I know, that's a pretty bold question, right? It kind of flips everything we thought we knew about astronomy completely on its head. I mean, we've always pictured other planets as these hostile places, crushing gravity, toxic air, crazy temperatures. But what if we've just been looking at it all wrong?
Think about it. For decades, the whole game plan for finding alien life was to find Earth 2.0, a mirror image. But this new idea suggesting that maybe, just maybe, by being so focused on finding our twin, we've been completely missing planets that are way, way more suitable for life to get started and really thrive. And that brings us to this really cool concept called superhabitable planets. And these aren't just worlds that could have life, like a maybe. No, these are planets that might have conditions that are even more perfect for life than what we have right here on Earth.
So, back in 2020, this astrobiologist Dirk Schulte-Makusch and his team basically tore up the old rulebook. They launched this study that totally redefined the search. The mission was simple, but honestly, it was revolutionary. Let's figure out what the perfect planet would look like, create a checklist, and then go see if any are actually out there.
And what they found, wow, it's staggering. We're not talking about one or two maybes. We're talking about 24 potential candidates for superhabitable status. So this isn't just some fun what-if scenario anymore. We have real, actual targets that fit this profile, which makes the whole search for life out there so much more focused and exciting.
Okay, so what does it even mean to be superhabitable? What are these scientists actually looking for? What's on this checklist? Well, it really boils down to just a few key things.
They came up with 4 main criteria. First, you need the right kind of star. Second, the planet has to have the right size and mass. Third, the temperature's got to be just right. And fourth, you need the right amount of water. Let's dig into each of these a little more. All right, first up, the star. Our sun, it's what's called a yellow dwarf, and it's got a lifespan of about 10 billion years. Now, that sounds like a long time, right? But think about this. It took almost 4 billion years for complex life to show up here on Earth. An orange dwarf star, on the other hand, is cooler, it's more stable, and it can live for 20, maybe even 50 billion years. That extra time, that's a massive, more stable window for life to not just start, but to really evolve into something complex.
Okay, next up is size. And you might think Earth is kind of the Goldilocks planet, right? Not too big, not too small, but the science actually suggests that a planet that's about 1.5 times the mass of Earth would be even better.
So why is bigger better in this case? Well, a few reasons. A more massive planet has stronger gravity, and that means it can hold on to a thicker atmosphere, which is great for life. Its core would also stay hot for longer, which keeps that all-important magnetic shield powered up, protecting the surface from nasty cosmic radiation. And hey, let's be honest, a bigger planet just means more real estate for life to spread out and do its thing. And temperature? This one might surprise you. The ideal isn't a planet exactly like Earth, but one that's a little bit warmer and wetter. We're talking an average temperature about 5 degrees Celsius higher than ours. Imagine what that would do. It would create these huge, lush tropical zones all over the planet. And here on Earth, those are the absolute hotspots for biodiversity.
Okay, so that's the theory. That's the checklist. But what about the real deal? Let's meet some of the top candidates, actual planets that made the cut. These aren't science fiction. Astronomers are pointing their telescopes at them as we speak.
All right, first up is a planet called KOI 5751.01. The KOI just means it's a Kepler object of interest, so it was spotted by the Kepler telescope. Now, if you look at the stats, you'll see its surface temp looks pretty chilly, right? Colder than Earth. But, and this is the important part, scientists think its huge size means it could have a really thick atmosphere. And what does a thick atmosphere do? It creates a powerful greenhouse effect. So that could mean the surface is actually way warmer and more stable than that number suggests, making it a top-notch candidate.
Then you've got another great one, KOI 5554.01. Its average temperature is a beautiful 27 degrees Celsius. Sounds nice, right? But what's even more exciting is that scientists have spotted signs of a nitrogen cycle there, and that is a huge deal. It's the exact same process that's critical for creating the building blocks of life as we know it, amino acids, proteins, even DNA.
And then there's Luton B. This one is so promising that people are already trying to talk to it. I'm serious. Back in 2017 and 2018, an organization called METI literally beamed messages at this planet, a science lesson and some music. It's like a message in a bottle sent across the cosmos on the off chance that someone or something is there to listen.
So all these planets are light years away, super far. But what if I told you that one of the most fascinating candidates on this whole list isn't in some distant star system? What if it's right here in our own cosmic backyard?
So where are we talking about? It's not Mars. We talk about Mars all the time. It's not Venus. It's a place that, for a really long time, we've kind of just ignored.
And get ready, because this is going to blow your mind. It's a place we used to think was just a dead, boring ball of ice and rock.
I'm talking about Callisto, one of Jupiter's biggest moons. And this is a perfect example of how science can just completely change its mind. For decades, it was written off. Oh, it's just a dead, inactive rock. But then, in the 90s, new data started coming in, and it looked like Callisto was hiding a huge secret.
It turns out Callisto checks a lot of the superhabitable boxes. There's strong evidence of a vast, salty ocean hidden under its icy surface. Astronomers have even found a thin atmosphere there, one that humans might actually be able to breathe. It's got tons of water, low gravity. I mean, it's almost perfect. There's just one big hurdle: the insane radiation blasting off of Jupiter. If we could somehow figure out a way to solve that one problem, Callisto has pretty much all the right ingredients.
So finding these potential superhabitable worlds, both light years away and right here in our own solar system, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It forces us to ask some really big questions about our place in the universe, and maybe about our future.
So, we hear all this talk about going to Mars, but this new research opens up a wild possibility. What if we're focused on the wrong target? Forget the red planet for a second. Could Callisto, this icy moon with a huge hidden ocean and maybe even air we can breathe, could that be humanity's next giant leap? What an incredible thought.